Hi, Carrie here from My Cloud Bookkeeping. I work with small businesses and entrepreneurs to help them manage their business finances in QuickBooks Online. Now, there is a feature in QuickBooks that enables you to import a large quantity of data directly from a CSV file that you can create from either Excel or Google Sheets. In this example today, we're going to look at journal entries. If you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I discourage journal entries within QuickBooks Online. They can mess up your accounts receivable, your accounts payable, sales taxes. All sorts of things can get out of whack if you start posting journal entries. There are a few examples where a journal entry is the best option to post transactions, so check out my video on journal entry hacks to understand when that would be. Today, I'm going to show you how to create and import a journal entry via CSV into QuickBooks Online.
So if we go up to the gear icon here in the sample company, we have the option to import data. And then we get to select what we would like to import, and we're going to import journal entries. So we click import right here. Now, the first thing that I always do is I download this sample CSV, and I must admit I do it every time. I just figure if I'm working with the data that QuickBooks wants me to use, chances are it's going to be in the right format. So we take a look at that now. So if I download it here, this is exactly what it looks like. Well, actually, I tidied it up a little bit. The most important thing is to pay attention to which columns have an asterisk. So you'll see that these three columns here, they have an asterisk, and this is data that we have to include in order to do the import. Now, obviously, the amounts, the debits and credits are important also. So I'm going to use this template in order to create an import file with the year-end journal entries that I would receive from my accountant. So I've typed the entries that I received from my accountant. Maybe they provided it in Excel. In my experience, I get this PDF from most of my clients that's super annoying. But I've typed them in here, and the first column we're going to look at here is this journal number. You might notice that I have two rows with YT1, YouTube 1. The next two rows are YT2, and these are the numbers of the individual journal entries that I'm going to be entering in. Now, for simplicity's sake, each of these journal entries only has two rows, but if you received a journal entry that had 3 or 4 rows, you'd need to ensure you had the same journal number for each of those rows. Now, the next is the journal date. I'm posting these on a kind of obscure date because I'm using this file for a different purpose. These don't need to be the same dates. They could be whatever date you need that journal entry to be for, but I'm creating another video at the same time and using this import file for that. Now, the account name here is what we also know as the category in QuickBooks Online. This is the account name or category from the chart of accounts. One of the things that's a little bit interesting here, you might notice I have a couple of colons. If you're using sub-accounts and you want to post to that sub-account, you need to also have the account above it named in this row. We'll get to the actual import in a moment, and it's very rare that when I press import, it just works the first time. And this is one of the errors or areas that often trips me up. So now memo. This is the memo for the entire journal. So it'll just pop a little description of what it is you're doing with this journal entry. Now our debits and our credits, our numbers. Each journal entry obviously has to have the same total of debits and credits. This is really easy to see here because they're 2-row journal entries only. I'm not touching taxes, and you may have noticed on the import file that I downloaded, there was classes and locations. I'm not messing around with those either for the sake of this exercise, but if you did use classes or locations, they may be relevant to a journal entry that you're posting. Now, this description row here is a little different in that this is the description that will go alongside each one of these rows. So when you're opening the chart of accounts or clicking through those categories from your reports, you'll be able to see alongside those transactions exactly what that description is. So now let's try and import this file. Okay. The first thing we need to do is save it somewhere where we know where it is and it's easy to find. So I'm simply going to go File, save as on my desktop. We'll close that file. I close the example as well, and we're back to this same page where we were a moment ago. So now let's click Browse, find our file, and open. So now we've uploaded our CSV file. I'm going to click Next. You can see here we have the QuickBooks fields and then those column headers that we looked at. And it's very important that these map. Now, we didn't change the headings. We used the file that they provided, so it's very easy. But say, for example, we'd created our own file and this said category, we'd need to make sure we mapped each of these to the correct place. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll need to look at the date format, and we use scientific, so there it is right there, ready to go. Now I'm going to click Next, and I have no idea what's going to happen, so let's see. Woohoo, it worked. Okay, it worked this time. When I was offline a moment ago, it did not work, and I had to make a couple of little tweaks. Don't be surprised if there's some stuff you need to fiddle around with, but I still think it's a lot faster to type into an Excel spreadsheet and import it than it is to manually enter each of them. So let's click Complete Import. Yay, here we go, importing the journal entries, and it said it's done. So I'm going to say OK. And then I thought you might like to see what those journal entries look like when we've imported them. So I was trying to find a nice list of journal entries somewhere, and I couldn't seem to find that. So I'm just going to pop here to the good old backwards clock up here. So if we go to the backwards clock, we can see that our journal entries that we just asked for are right here. So if we open up the first one, we have the truck depreciation. You can see that was what my description was for each row, and then amortization and depreciation was my memo. We've got the date and we've got our journal number. It's actually kind of cool. Can you imagine if we had a lot more? So let's pop back again to the journal entry. Going to go up to here, and let's take a look at number 4. Here it is here, the deferred income. And once again, here's these 3 sub accounts. If you have a look in here, it's a sub of a sub of a sub. And that was one of the errors I did have when I very first tried to do this import. So this is a fantastic way to get bulk information in. I've just walked through journal entries, but as you can see, there are quite a few different options. Bank data, I think we've covered off before. Chart of accounts is great if you have a brand new file and you know what categories you'd like to see. Lists of customers, invoices. People I know have not been using QuickBooks for invoicing. That kind of, I don't know, Google Sheets and all sorts of things. If you're wanting to do some sort of a catch-up, or maybe you're offered a craft fair or something and you have a whole pile of, well, I guess you'd be integrating from a POS. But anyway, anytime where you have a bulk of items that you want to import, this is a great place to do it.
Hopefully that will help with those year-end journal entries from your accountant and give you an idea of the types of transactions that can be imported. If there's anything else you'd like to know about, please do make a note below. I'd love to hear from you. Click like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.